Good morning and welcome to Living Local 15. I'm your host, Jessica Williams. Thank you for joining me today. It's time to grab a cup of joe and enjoy the show. Guess what? Savor Fort Wayne kicks off tomorrow. That's right. The best time to dine out is now. I always say that Fort Wayne has the best food and festivals, and now is the time to kick off your appetite and explore all of their fabulous restaurants at a discounted price. Savor Fort Wayne is joining me in studio with more information about this perk. Then Summit Commercial Driving Training Crew is here to give us information and tips on how to become a truck driver. Plus, they share the process of getting certified. That and more happening now.
Fashion, food, and fun. You're watching Living Local 15 with your host, Jessica Williams.
Savor Fort Wayne is an exciting time of the year because you can wine and dine at your favorite restaurants or try out new ones at a discounted price. And here to share more about Savor Fort Wayne is Kristen Guthrie, who is the Vice President of Marketing with Visit Fort Wayne. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great.
Yes. Even better now,
yes,
because this is such an exciting event that only happens once a year.
That's right.
And to kick off the new year with trying out new food.
Exactly.
So tell us all about Savor Fort Wayne.
It is so fun. It's 12 days where over 90 restaurants, I know, are doing special 3-course value-priced menus for people to come check out a new restaurant or head to an old favorite and try some new dishes. It's a really fun event, and it's really fun to see kind of the chefs are trying to do something a little special. The menus are amazing, and it's really fun. 12 days of restaurant week here in Fort Wayne.
Right, and it's like, okay, you have to start now thinking about
you do
all the places that you want to visit and really map it out. And what I love what you said is that it's a 3-course meal, so you're really getting a sample of just kind of everything that the restaurant has to offer, right?
Exactly. There are so many different restaurants with different ethnic tastes this year, which I love because you might be nervous to just walk in on a regular day, but this time they're going to give you, like you said, a sampling. Try this.
Yeah.
Here's our best dishes or our specialty dishes. Even places you've been to before are going to do something different, and I love that. A 3-course menu is something we don't always treat ourselves to.
Yes.
It's really fun to go in and some of the breweries do maybe a beer sample as the first course, or some places do some special desserts as the 3rd course. It's very fun to see how people interpret that and what they offer, and it's a great range to of really high-end restaurants for a really fancy night out, and then pizza places or places to take the family and get a good deal, and again try something different. It's really fun.
That is, and that's a great point about the type of food and the size, because you could try something for lunch and then maybe try something for dinner at a different place.
Exactly.
Okay, so 90 restaurants. That number, I'm like, oh my goodness, because of course it's not just in downtown Fort Wayne, but it spreads out throughout our Metroplex, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that. Right at the top of savorfortwayne.com, there's a clickable link that says by region.
Okay.
And so you can also sort them by a new part of town. I really encourage people, we kind of are stuck in our ruts, our neighborhood. So I like to go and pick a new region of town. Maybe you haven't been downtown in a while. Click that. Maybe you haven't, what's out northwest? What can I find? Search by region, and I guarantee you're going to see restaurants you didn't even know existed.
Right.
You can click and learn about these new places. It's really fun and, explore something totally different.
Right.
Yeah.
And your website has all of that information, and really people can see the restaurants that are participating to make sure. Now, will their menu be available online in that 3-course option?
Yes.
Okay.
You're really going to need to go to savorfortwayne.com first to pick where you're going to go. First of all, to learn who's participating.
Right.
But with 90 options, you really need to look at those menus ahead of time because everyone's doing something special.
Right.
It's going to be hard to narrow it down, though. It's a fun problem to have. And like you said, many are doing lunch, many are doing carry out. There's a lot of different ways to enjoy it, and so you'll have no problem finding some good options.
Yeah, and I know sometimes Visit Fort Wayne has these cool little souvenir books or maps. Is there anything like that associated with this event?
Nothing printed this year. Really, it's those special menus, and so really recommend people check them out. You know, every day I'm reading them, getting hungry, and finding just fun options for people to enjoy.
Yeah, I love that. And of course, on this show, you know, we love to go try out restaurants around town. So this is such an important time. So I would encourage our viewers to try out the restaurants and let us know where you like and what you think, so that we can try out the place and just really learn what are some of the favorite spots.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Because really, I mean, I think I know what's going on in Fort Wayne, and there are many on there I have not been to or even heard of. And so it's such a great opportunity for people.
I love that.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yes, and of course, Kristen, while you're here, I have to know what else is happening for the month of January in Fort Wayne.
You know, there are some really fun things coming up. The Embassy has tons of events on their calendar. The Coliseum has some really great shows, like boat shows, and you can start to think a little spring. It's a little early for that, but plan for some summer fun. January is going to be a really fun month, and I love that even during Savor Fort Wayne, lots of other events. You can go to a Comets game, like make a night of it, not just your dinner. Really fun. And we're also seeing great events coming through for Valentine's time. A lot of great performances, again, shows at the Civic Theater. It's going to be a really rich and lots of great opportunities this winter.
Yeah, that's great. And what I love about your website is that you have all of that information on there. Visit fortwayne.com, because what it does is it allows for you to look up events per attraction, sporting, dining, or entertainment.
Exactly.
And I love that pairing thing. Go out, just do a little, make January just a fun month, right? Choose a show, go to dinner before, make it a night.
Absolutely. Really affordable things like ice skating, you know, just things we can do to beat those winter blues. You know, we live in we love the change of seasons. Let's like embrace it. That's my motto, and enjoy it. And, you know, not stay in too much.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Kristen. We appreciate it. And if you would like more information about Savor Fort Wayne, you can go to Visit Fort Wayne's website and learn all about it. We'll have it listed below. Bon appetit. I'll see you after the break.
Have an idea for the show? Want to find out how you can be a guest? Contact us at livinglocal15@wayne.com.
Do you want to know the best places to go to eat and drink around Northeast Indiana? Well, join me, Jessica Williams, for Living Local 15, weekdays at 9 a.m. as I take you inside of the best restaurants, new and old, explore their menu, and of course, mix up some cocktails. Where will I go next? Well, you'll have to watch and see, but I want to know, where do you recommend I go?
Keep up with Jessica Williams on Living Local 15, weekdays at 9.
Just have to shake.
All right, here's the fun
Are you
part.
ready?
Gonna dance with me?
All right, let's go.
I like you
You have a little bit more flair than I do.
That's why it deserves a spot on the menu. And just working in an Italian restaurant, a lot of the ingredients are kind of very similar. You got oregano, you got crushed tomatoes too.
Yes.
But this is a way again to like just capture it all in one plate.
That is a layered sandwich there. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I don't even want to bite it. It's so pretty.
All of our sandwiches are about a half pound of meat.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
So right here, Jessica, we got our BC oysters.
Okay.
It's like a riff on Oysters Rockefeller. We got bacon, cheese, our spinach dip. You got to get it in there. And
So many flavors, not overwhelming. I love that. That is good, and I love how you guys put it in the pineapple.
So it's an
Wow.
1800-degree broiler.
Wow, yeah, it's hot.
It's really,
hot.
really hot. So we're gonna put it right here in the middle of the steak, and also the shrimp is also going in here.
I'm cutting into this steak. It looks all moist.
Very
I'm gonna
tender.
cut it, yes, and turn that around. Look at that. Oh, that is delightful. Look at that. Oh, perfect. Right to the top. All right, look at that beautiful like cotton candy color. Okay, so this is the raspberry lemon drop martini. It looks beautiful, very classy. Let's cheers. Now to taste it. Listen, I'm gonna try to do it.
Okay.
Okay.
And yes,
go through that. Yeah, that sounds.
Wow. This is probably the most exciting cocktail I've ever made, I have
Man,
to
you
say.
got one of us.
I have had plenty of meal prep stuff, frozen food, over the years. This is really flavorful.
Maple syrup, lemon juice, and then bourbon.
Bourbon, such a good bourbon drink. And look, it looks like they could be sisters, evil stepsisters.
There we go.
So fun. Okay, so maple leaf.
Cheers and happy birthday.
Ooh. So good. You made it perfect.
Hey, there's the toasted coconut.
Look at that. Yummy. So caramel ripple and sea salt caramel.
A little bit of prep work, a lot of fresh shrimp and seafood and cheese-based dip.
So good.
And it won't stop automatically.
Okay.
So if we get it up to
Ooh. Yum, yum. Look at that.
just so we can really get that caramelized look to the top of it.
That is just one of our featured dishes. It's the calamari is lightly breaded and then deep fried, and it's served with a kung pao garlic sauce. Then you have a little bit of garnish of just kind of a fresh coleslaw, very lightly seasoned. So always have to encourage the folks when they get the calamari.
That is Fort Wayne's best gin and soda.
Really? Just as easy as that?
As easy as that. Get it there. What do you think?
It's an experience.
Yeah, a little bit like drinking a cloud.
Okay, try this again.
Yeah, the chocolate's always rotating, so.
Right, and it's like a river current.
And then the brisket is smoked for 14 to 16 hours. One thing with barbecue, it tells you when it's done. You don't tell it when it's done.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
This is your wife's favorite dish.
Yes.
So I'm really excited to taste it. And you have grilled pineapples. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm gonna get a little bit of everything to get a really nice big bite in. And grilled pineapples really just bring it all together.
Yes.
And what I like about it, it doesn't feel heavy. Now what is this?
The
Cashew chicken.
Yes.
Yum. Okay, let's see.
All right. See what you think of that. Fresh. Spicy.
and then give it a shake.
Not gonna dance with me?
I'm not doing a shaking dance, no. The fun thing about shaking coffee, even if it's cold brew or if it's like fresh espresso like this, is that it creates this like really cool foam. So it gives the drink kind of a creamy look, even though there's no heavy cream or milk ingredient added into it.
Yum, yum. And now we're gonna give it a little tasty taste.
And here in the middle, we have our taro with tapioca boba.
Okay.
All right.
Taro.
Yeah, there you go. Ooh. Yeah, that's
It's
good.
a surprise. Yummy. Okay. Do you guys have favorites off of this menu?
Mine would be the barbecue chicken.
The barbecue chicken one?
Can't get away from that one.
Living Local 15, proudly driven by the Kelly Automotive Group.
Summit Commercial Driver Training helps people of all backgrounds, ages, and experience levels obtain the necessary skills, credentials, and certifications to drive semi-trucks, buses, hazmat transportations, and more. And joining me today to discuss how to become a truck driver is Sandra Webb and Colton Easterday. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
How are
So
you
glad to be
doing?
here. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So this topic is so fascinating because, of course, people hear about truck driving and how it is a really great career choice. I mean, outside of being able to make your own hours in some ways, you get to be on the road and just really enjoy some freedom within the occupation. So let's dive in and kind of talk about the benefits of being a truck driver. Sandra?
You get to, of course, go see places. You get to have, like you said, kind of your own hours, but at the same time, you're your own boss in a way, and you have your free time. Some people say my teacher always told me I could never be paid to look out the window. In this case, you do.
You do, right. Get to explore and see things. And let's talk about the different levels of truck driving because there's so many different items that need to be transported. And so there's always work that you can pick up and you can kind of choose your own hours. Is that correct, Colton?
Yeah, a lot of entry-level drivers, a lot of them go over the road to start out with. If you're under 21, you're kind of limited to in-state only. So that can be kind of a challenge for drivers who start out, but the more experience you get, you may be allowed to do things like heavy haul or specialty haul like hazmat. You got to be 21 for that. So the more experience you have, the more time you have out on the road, it kind of opens you up to more specialty kind of jobs, which a lot of times with that comes increased wages, all that, increased benefits, all that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah, and that makes sense. I mean, starting off local is good, get that experience going because there is a skill set for long distance driving, you know, and so through training and understanding that process, people can grow to that. And let's talk about the pay a little bit. What would you say is the average pay range that a truck driver could make?
I would say starting out, you're probably going to be 50 to 60K range. Obviously, there's just numbers. Some fields may pay more than others. For example, hazmat or heavy haul or, you know, automotive transport. I'd say 50 to 60 average.
Yeah, and that's just starting, right?
For beginners.
For beginners, which is so incredible. I mean, and it is quite a lucrative career. And so, like anything, you have to have the proper training and you have to have the steps in order to accomplish that. And that's where you all come in. You offer this type of training, which is so great, and it really covers the advanced and the beginning levels. So, Sandra, can you give us an overview of your organization?
We bring you in, we get you your schooling that is needed, we get you funding if it's needed. We work with Work One, next level jobs, and we have lending sources and things of that nature. And we are more of a small class so that you get more one-on-one time and hopefully make it easier for you as a person rather than a number.
Right. And so it's the CDL license, right? The commercial driving license. And Colton, you are an instructor at this institute. And so talk to me about the amount of time that it takes to really, from beginning to end, to get this type of certification.
We try to keep our classes for CDLA, which is semi-trucks. We do 3 weeks. It's 120 hours of class training. You get 40 hours of classroom. 40 hours of range or your backing skills.
Okay.
Then you get 40 hours on the road. For our CDLB, which is box trucks, kind of the smaller commercial vehicles or buses, it's 80 hours. So you get 3 to 5 days of classroom, and then that next week is spent working on your backing and your road time.
Okay.
So in 3 to 4 weeks,
Yeah.
generally you can have a CDL depending on which class you take.
Right. And that's great. I mean, that's no time, a month, and you can get started and all of that. So talk to me about the steps that it takes from, like, let's say someone's watching and they're like, oh my goodness, like I would like to try this out as a career. The first step is coming to you all. Is that correct?
Yes, you can contact us through summitcdt.com. And it'll take you right in. I will get your messages and I will respond to you right away.
Yeah.
And then we'll go from there. We'll get your paperwork filled out, we'll get your funding filled out, We'll get you into class as soon as possible, or we'll let you hang out a little longer if that's what you prefer.
Right, if you need a little extra attention.
Correct.
And so after someone completes the course and they get their certification, the next step is applying for these driving positions? Would that be next?
Yeah, a lot of the people who come to us actually will come from a company. If you don't, we have partners in people, either companies that we've worked for in the past or companies that we are officially partnered with that, I mean, we do everything we can to help you kind of find your place in the industry. We don't like to leave anybody hanging. So.
Right. Okay. So that cross hiring and job search opportunities, because I'm sure you know the jobs that are available in this industry. But you said something interesting that people can actually, they may start off having found the job and starting to work at a company and then cross over to get their licensing.
Correct.
Okay.
We have companies that also sponsor students, meaning they will be paid while studying as long as they have good backgrounds in MVRs.
Yeah.
We have sponsored companies that will back pay the tuition they paid.
Oh, wow.
After they've completed their course, then they'll take them on and train them further and then help pay back their tuition that they paid out up front.
Nice. Okay. Sounds like there's a lot of great benefits.
There is.
I appreciate you both for coming in and sharing today.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for having us.
Yes. And if you'd like more information about this training, or if you're curious about becoming a truck driver, we'll have their website listed below, and we'll be right back.
Follow us on social media at Living Local 15.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, you can always catch up on episodes and segments of Living Local 15 by going to WANE.com, downloading the WANE app, and checking us out on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this. It's never too late to live your best life, so start living it today. And I look forward to seeing you here tomorrow. Bye-bye.